Most women's hybrid training splits are built completely wrong because no one taught them how to structure one. At the end of this video, you'll get an understanding of how to build a hybrid training split that not only works for you, but also understanding how many days to work out, what goes where, and why, so you stop guessing in the gym and start training like an athlete. My name is Gail. I'm an online coach for women who want to become hybrid athletes. And what I'm going to be teaching you today isn't a copy my program, it's a framework. It's how is a hybrid training split scheduled? Why is it set up that way? And how to think about it through your own lens and what works for you. Because while a program will change as you get stronger and faster, the framework remains the same. So we want that framework to be something that lasts. And I'll be honest right now, while I have done and completed and will again complete one of my own personal programs in the future, right now I am following someone else's programming. And I think that's important to say because I feel as a lot of coaches don't always verbalize that and make it seem as they're always doing their own programming when in reality they may be doing someone else's, which is totally okay. However, everything I program for my clients, I have done before. So while the program they may receive isn't an exact program I've done in the past, I have done it or some variation of that before. So I know what I am giving them and how it feels and how it works. When we discuss hybrid training split, we're going to think about it in a week's worth of time, no matter how many days you do or don't work out. You're not just a runner and you're not just a lifter. You're building both at the same time. A hybrid training week is going to be combining things such as strength, cardio, and power. The goal is to become capable and resilient across multiple domains, not just strong in the gym, but being able to move, jump, and run. This is also what separates a more hybrid program compared to a more traditional bodybuilding program. More capable for life's demands, more aesthetics. How many days a week should you be training? In reality, while it's typically suggested 3 to 5 times a week, that number is going to be purely based on what can you realistically and consistently do at this point in your life. And that number may change as life demands change. Most women typically train about 3 to 5 times a week, and the sweet spot for that is usually 4. The main key, besides being consistent, is you want enough stimulus in order to keep progressing, but also enough recovery so you're able to adapt. And also, depending on your level of experience, this may change the number of how many days in a week you should be training. More does not always mean better. It's the quality, the consistency, and the progressive overload of the training, which is going to make you better with adequate recovery. Before I go into the framework that I am currently using, I do want to say that there's various ways to create a framework that is effective and going to help you achieve your goals as a hybrid athlete. And just because this is my framework today, there's always room for it to adapt and grow and become better as I continue to learn more about hybrid training and training like an athlete. Across a 4-day-a-week program, they are getting 2 lower body days, an upper body day, and then a conditioning day. If they have time for a 5th day, that's typically when I will suggest going on a longer run or even riding the bike or row machine, whatever modality they choose to use and improve their overall endurance. So when it comes to the lower body days, one is going to be more push, the other one is going to be more pull. So push day thinking more squats, while pull day thinking more RDLs and deadlifts, with both days having different accessory lifts depending on that client's needs. And then the upper body day will be a mix of push and pull. So pull up, some rows, maybe some bench press, and again with accessory lifts that align with my client's needs. Conditioning day, this is where everything that was missing from the 3 previous days gets put. Sometimes there will be a few lifts and then some intervals on a treadmill for their cardio, or it will be something more along the lines of a high intensity workout where it's mixing multiple exercises or movements while maintaining a higher heart rate to help improve their cardiovascular system. Why do I like to structure it this way? So most of my clients want to train legs twice a week compared to upper body once a week. But overall, with the lower body, the quads, the hamstring, the glutes, they're bigger muscle groups and can handle increased frequency and volume compared to the smaller muscle groups in the upper body. Of course, this is also very dependent on the program itself and if it is well thought out. But then with the conditioning, that is very intentional and will have the missing pieces that weren't there throughout the other sessions in order to create a more well-rounded program. It ties everything in together, gets some power work in, and finishes the week challenging multiple systems, which is what hybrid training is. And for me, I decide all of these things based on the one-on-one calls I have with my clients before I even make them a program to make sure that their goals, what's realistic for them, and what they want to get better at, or even what their weak spots are within their program so they can become the best version of themselves. So how do you take all of this information to build your own hybrid training split that works for you? 3 questions. 1, how many days can you consistently commit to? Not a fantasy schedule, not a dream schedule, your real schedule. Build it based off that. Question 2, is strength or cardio your base? This is going to be different for every single person and their goals and also their background. You may be someone who has been a cardio or endurance girly for their entire life who now wants to build strength while still being able to run far. Or you may be someone who, more like me, has a long history of strength training and is now incorporating running into their program. Whichever one is your base should be more of the bulk of your split while still incorporating the other one. So if strength is your base, I recommend 2 to 3 days of the strength training, focusing on lower and upper body, with the other days being more conditioning or endurance work. While if it's the other way around and you want to build more of your cardiovascular capacity, maybe that's 2 to 3 days of endurance work and conditioning and just 2 days of strength training, still focusing on some upper body and some lower body to help maintain strength. And 3rd question, are you having fun? Is training hard? Yes. Do we always want to do it? No. But at the end of the day, you should be having a good time and enjoying what you're doing and the benefits you are reaping from it. Like if you absolutely hate running, but you want to do cardio, then don't run. You can get on the bike. You could go on a hike. You could get on the ski erg or the row machine. There's so many different variations of the work you can do in the gym while still getting benefits. And don't forget to add in some power work. I'm talking some light pogos, some box jumps, maybe some broad jumps, just some type of jumping movement. And now you have created your first hybrid training week. Start there, adjust as you learn and progress. And remember, the framework can hold while the details inside change. Keep adding weight to that bar, keep running a little bit farther, and you got this. If you want the full picture of what your program should include, I made a free gift where I go over 5 things that's missing from you becoming a hybrid athlete, and it's listed below. Check out the link in the description and be sure to subscribe to keep seeing content like this. I'll see you next week.